to the choir master, a son of David, the slave of he is, who addressed the words of this song to he is, on the day when he is delivered him from the hand of all his enemies, and from the hand of Saul. When David's enemies persecuted him, David's men suffered along with him. When Jesus' enemies persecuted him, Jesus' men suffer along with him. That is the mark of a true disciple. When Saul the Pharisee persecuted Christians belonging to the way, Jesus asked him, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" I am not Jesus, but when Dinesh the Protestant persecutes me, he persecutes Jesus too. When God saved David from all his enemies, David's men were saved along with him. When God saved Jesus from all his enemies, Jesus' men know that we shall be saved along with him. David's men sing along with David this song of deliverance because they were delivered together with David. Jesus' men sing this song of deliverance together with David and together with Jesus because we are also delivered together with Jesus. He said, "I love you, he is my strength. I am weak, I have no strength. He is my strength, and I love him. He is my rock, and my fortress, and my deliverer, my God, my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield, and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. I call upon he is, who is worthy to be praised, and I am saved from my enemies. The cords of death encompassed me. The torrents of the worthless man terrified me. The cords of Sheol entangled me. The snares of death confronted me. In my distress I called upon he is. To my gods I cried for help. From his temple he heard my voice, and my cry to him reached his ears. Then the earth reeled and rocked. The foundations also of the mountains trembled and quaked, because he was angry. Smoke went up from his nostrils, and devouring fire from his mouth. Glowing coals flamed forth from him. He bowed the heavens and came down. Thick darkness was under his feet. He rode on a cherub and flew. He came swiftly on the wings of the wind. He made darkness his covering, his canopy around him, thick clouds dark with water. Out of the brightness before him, hailstones and coals of fire broke through his clouds. He is also thundered in the heavens, and the Most High uttered his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. And he sent out his arrows and scattered them. He flashed forth lightnings and routed them. Then the channels of the sea were seen, and the foundations of the world were laid bare. At your rebuke he is, at the blast of the breath of your nostrils. He sent from on high, he took me, he drew me out of many waters. Our God did not literally send fire from heaven and burn up King Saul. This description of God's deliverance is still true. The power described here, God's control over the weather, over everything, the sheer power, that's the same power that he can release in various ways to save his people. And one day when Jesus comes back, we will see the kind of demonstration of power in its maximum form displayed on earth. He rescued me from my strong enemy and from those who hated me, for they were too mighty for me. They confronted me in the day of my calamity, but he was my support. He brought me out into a broad place. He rescued me because he delighted in me. He is dealt with me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands, he rewarded me. For I have kept the ways of his, and have not wickedly departed from my gods. For all his rules were before me, and his statutes I did not put away from me. I was blameless before him, and I kept myself from my guilt. So he has rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. David did not have 100% sinlessly righteous works, and neither do I. But David was repentant, and so am I. I am putting off all kinds of sins, not just some kinds of sins. I repent from all sins. I commit myself to obey all Jesus' commandments, not just some. I do not pick and choose. I do not twist his words. I do not make distinctions. This one is important, that one is not important. So the not important ones we can disobey. I do not make such distinctions. There are more important commands. There are more serious ones. They have greater consequences if they are disobeyed. But it does not mean the less serious consequences should give people assurance that they will be spared from the lake of fire. For liars will be thrown into the fire. And many of those commands have been distorted through lies. I am repentant, and God will reward me accordingly. With the merciful, you show yourself merciful. With the blameless man, you show yourself blameless. With the purified, you show yourself pure. And with the crooked, you show yourself crafty. Be warned, crooked ones, you lovers of lies and haters of truth. God will give you what you want. You want to be crooked, you love lies, God will give you lies. Just read how God sent a lying spirit to deceive the unrepentant King Ahab, so that Ahab will go into battle and die. 1 Kings 22, verse 13 to 23. If you keep loving lies, he will let you continue in them. And then on Judgment Day, you will die for your lies. The second death. For you save an afflicted people, but the haughty eyes you bring down. For it is you who light my lamp. He is my God, lightens my darkness. For by you I can run against a troop, and by my gods I can leap over a wall. This God, his way is blameless. The word of he is proves true. He is a shield for all those who take refuge in him. For who is God but he is, and who is a rock except our gods? The God who equipped me with strength and made my way blameless. He made my feet like the feet of a deer and set me secure on the heights. He trains my hands for war so that my arms can bend a bow of bronze. You have given me the shield of your salvation, and your right hand supported me, and your gentleness made me great. You gave a wide place for my steps under me, and my feet did not slip. I pursued my enemies and overtook them, and did not turn back till they were consumed. I crushed them so that they were not able to rise. They fell under my feet. For you equipped me with strength for the battle. You made those who rise against me sink under me. You gave me my enemy's neck, and those who hated me I destroyed. Jesus commanded his disciples not to take revenge, and so I have learned not to as well. But I pray these prayers and leave it to Jesus to avenge me and destroy my enemies in this way that has been described, God will give me the victory. They cried for help, but there was none to save. They cried to His, but He did not answer them. Since they are unrepentant Pharisees, God will not answer their prayers. So what if you call on the name of God? The unrepentant persecutors of God's people, they will be ignored. I beat them fine as dust before the wind. I cast them out like the mire of the streets. You delivered me from strife with the people. You made me the head of the nations. People whom I had not known served me. As soon as they heard of me, they obeyed me. Sons of foreigners came cringing to me. Sons of foreigners lost heart and came trembling out of their fortresses. David was so powerful that he reigned over foreigners, and Jesus, the son of David, will be even more powerful and will rule over all the nations. And I look forward to the day when I would join God's people and rule with Jesus as well. This is exactly what Jesus promised in Revelation 2, verse 26 to 27. The one who conquers and who keeps my works until the end, doing Jesus' works that He has commanded, to him I will give authority over the nations, and he will shepherd them with a rod of iron, as when earthen pots are broken in pieces, even as I myself have received authority from my Father. Back to Psalm 18:46. He lives, and blessed be my rock, and exalted be the God of my salvation, the God who gave me vengeance and subdued peoples under me, who rescued me from my enemies. Yes, you exalted me above those who rose against me. You delivered me from the men of violence. And so likewise, the time will come when I will be delivered from Dinesh the Protestant, the tongue murderer, and the treacherous wife, the one who commits the violence of divorce. For this I will praise you, He is among the nations, and sing to your name. Great salvation He brings to His king, and shows steadfast love to His anointed, to David and his offspring forever. And just as you showed steadfast love to David and Jesus, the son of David, just as you saved Jesus from the dead, so may your power save me from my enemies, that I may praise you among the nations.